Okay, another question. It's a little bit of gender equality here. You had a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Navia, and my question is about freedom of speech. We should be allowed to criticize any government without facing repercussions or the fear of being criminalized. There is a the Coalition of Canadian Parliamentary to Combat Anti-Semitism that's challenging this section in our Charter of Rights and Freedom. Their goal is to criminalize anyone or organization for criticizing or questioning certain government policies like Israel, specifically Israel. I just want to know what each one of you think of CCPCA and what your party thinks of the CCPCA. I've done some studies, and I know some parties are against it, and some have members that are for it, and some are against it. I just want to know what your opinion is.
Thank you. Hand grenade there. I will start with Karen of the Democratic Party.
So, I'm sorry, what is the CCPCA?
It is the Canadian Coalition of Parliaments to Combat Anti-Semitism.
Oh,
that
okay.
is going, that it wants to criminalize individuals or organizations or shut down organizations that may speak about the policies of Israel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Hetty Fry is a member of that.
All right. Well, I clearly don't know enough about the issue. I mean, free speech is guaranteed under the Charter, and you know, and free speech does include saying that they wish that they could criminalize comments about other groups, but I don't see that criminalization happening. So I think free speech is something that's guaranteed under the Charter.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over then to Hetty Fry next, and perhaps shed more light on.
Well, yes, it's a committee that started off as a result of 24 countries getting together because there has been a rise in anti-Semitism. And I would hesitate, or I want to tell the lady who asked the question, anti-Semitism is very different from being anti-Israeli. Israel is a nation state. Anyone should be able to criticize Israel in the same way that we criticize the United States or Iran or any other country. We should be able to say that as nations without offending anyone. Anti-Semitism is act against Semitic peoples. That is actually restricted under our charter. It's completely contravened under our charter. Right to free speech is actually sacrosanct under our charter. I'm a member of the committee, as is every single political party in the House of Commons. It's an all-party committee. We came in to look at the issue and to investigate whether anti-Semitism was in the rise in Canada and what could one do to bring that down, because we believe that if we allow anti-Semitism, which is speech against Jewish people themselves, that we would also be against we would allow for Islamophobia to thrive, for racism to thrive in this country. It's something that we wanted to look at and to protect. I'm a member of that party because I'm very interested in finding out whether we are allowing any kind of discrimination and xenophobia and hate to occur in this country.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've done your research, you've probably seen that the Green Party has put out a press release against. Certainly the intent that's coming through is that there is criticism of anybody who speaks out against Israel. I absolutely agree with Kate. Of course, anyone who's sane would not be advocating anti-Semitism. But the messages that are coming out about this group is that there is criticism of anyone who speaks out against the state of Israel, not just Jewish people. And so we came out saying that that was wrong. And for the record, the Green Party of Canada favors a two-state solution in the Mideast, so that there is resolution of the conflict there.
Thank you. Michael, you of the Progressive Canadian Party.
the principle of free speech must be upheld, and the principle of our ability to criticize and hold accountable our government or other governments should be upheld as well. I agree with previous comments regarding opposition to any form of racist speech or comments that are racist in nature, but there should be a distinction between those types of comments and criticism of government policy. And I do want to point out, in regards to in this context, that we use the word Israeli policy or Israel's policy, but we also have to remember that Israel's policy can change. In Israel, there can be a Likud government, or there can be a Labour government, or there could be a coalition government. So Israel's policy is not monolithic or is not unchangeable. Israel has had different governments that pursue different policies.
Thank you very much, and Travis Craig, the Pirate Party again.
All right, another issue for me. Basically, I'm for free speech at all points, and I even take it one step further. And I know this is almost going to sound horrible, but if a person wants to be ignorant enough to talk bad about another person by either religion, race, or anything else, then we can look at them as a society as ignorant, but we can never put. I say that there should be no limits on free speech in that situation. Sure, if they want, if you're, like I said, if they're being racist, yeah, that's wrong, and I disagree with it, and I might even use my free speech to counter that. But the answer to bad speech isn't to censor it. The answer to bad speech is more good speech. There you go.
Thank you. And the Marxist-Leninist Party. Next question.
Yes, I believe that any country that is promoting aggression and should be spoken out against. In the case of Israel, we're not looking at a country that is particularly weak, has enough nuclear firepower to vaporize the Middle East and then some. It has been engaged in piracy on the high seas when humanitarian aid was being brought in recently. And it is not the weak type of country that is some portrayed as being. So we have every right and responsibility to criticize any country that is engaged in aggression. And in itself, it denies democracy to people within its own borders, like the Palestinians.
Thank you very much. I'm really sorry that we are running so short of time here. We're not going to have a whole lot of time for questions, but
I was the very first person to put my hand up.
It was the very first person. Well, I think we had.
No, I had my hand up before the questions began.
I want to give it to this lady here, and then if we have time, I can get back to you, sir. It's a difficult situation. So, ma'am.
Hi, I'm not really entitled to vote yet because I'm just from high school, and my social teacher encouraged me to go here. And I just wanted to ask if do you support the internet usage billing plan?
Do you support the internet usage billing plan? And maybe we could get a quick answer on this one if we can, and then perhaps we can get this gentleman's question as well, and we go a little over time.
Can we do this?
Pardon me? Oh, the question is, do you support the internet usage billing plan? Travis Craig.
The Pirate Party has come out against usage-based billing. I'm against usage-based billing. Also, I'm the owner of or to-be owner of an internet service provider, and that's against usage-based billing. And I think that usage-based billing is really stupid in its core. Also, real fast on a side note, while I'm thinking about it, I love the fact that a high schooler came out here. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
But yeah, we need to stay away from usage-based billing. The concept is dumb. The lines are there. You can pump so much information through it. The reason why why usage-based billing came up when it did was the same time Netflix came out. It's because the industry, especially the cable industry, was afraid of losing its cable subscribers to internet-only usage. I think that's the way of the future. Again, we can't hold back innovation just because the industry wants to use its archaic ways.
Thank you. Adrian Carr, the Green Party.
Green Party's against usage-based billing. Rather than go through the details, check out our website and the press release we put out on it, greenparty.ca.
Thank you very much, Michael.
My personal view is that right now I would not be in favor of it, but we do have to keep an open mind, because one thing we don't want to do is we don't want costs to skyrocket at a certain point in the future, so that it becomes impossible for providers to continue to provide us, the consumers, with that type of service.
Okay, Hetty Fry, the Liberal Party of Canada.
No, I will be brief. We're against usage-based billing.
Okay, Michael, of the Marxist-Leninist Party, Michael.
I don't really have much of a position on it. I just simply get any internet use I get, but it's just simply when a specific provider makes sure.
Right.
So I actually don't know too much about the issue.
Great. Karen Shillington of the New Democratic Party.
CNP is against usage-based billing.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go probably a little over time to get this gentleman's question in. Sir.
I am very optimistic in this election that the youth are going to be playing a big role in it. And aside from the...
I'm sorry. Speak up a little bit.
Sorry. I'm very optimistic in this election that the youth are going to be playing a big role in it. And in spite of the fact that you only see a few youth here, they're right there in that camera watching us on the internet. And I assure you that they're paying close attention. And I want to raise an issue that is quite frightening for a lot of youth, is various movements towards the criminalization of our youth, with attempts at mandatory sentencing for possession of marijuana, and for the criminalization of young adults for remixing and participating in their own culture on the internet, and the usage-based billing is another example of the monetization of our participation in our own culture. And children, there is people.
I've got to ask you to focus the question. This is going to be our last question. What is your question?
What are you going to do to ensure that nobody passes legislation that throws children in jail for participating in their own culture?
However you find that. It's a tough one. I'm all for jail listening myself, but I'm not a candidate. Adrian.
I'll answer straightforwardly on the marijuana issue or the cannabis issue which you raised. The Green Party supports legalization. We follow the line of, in fact, the Senate of Canada, hardly a radical institution, and the Fraser Institute, both of whom recommend that. So legalize it, control it, make sure that its production is safe, that restricted use to adults, don't promote it, tax the heck out of it.
Travis, do you want to...
Okay. Remixing music to sharing culture, it should never be limited. And I agree. We should. Right now, Canada wants to get into legislation. It's a closed door thing through countries, basically called ACTA. If you guys don't know what it is, look it up. ACTA. Look up Michael Geist, his commentary on it. I'm against all involvement in ACTA or anything like it. I'm also against prohibiting people from remixing music. I'm for advancing culture always.
Thank you. Michael Hunefeld of the Canadian Progressive Party of Canada. Progressive Canadian Party of Canada.
I'm not in favor of criminalizing youth that are trying to share culture on the internet. Now, I do believe that youth, like adults, must accept responsibility for their own lives and must abide by certain rules in our society. If a youth commits a serious crime, there should be a serious response by society. We all must take responsibility for our own actions.